माननीय सुखेंदु शेखर राज।
Thank you, sir. Through you, sir, I congratulate Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji for assuming the charge of Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs. Sir, at the outset, as already mentioned by our distinguished colleague and former Finance Minister of this country, Sri P. Chidambaramji, regarding some misleading and contradictory numbers or information in regard to the receipt and expenditure of the central government. Sir, I may be permitted to quote from an article authored by a professor of economics at Jawaharlal Nehru University, and our present finance minister is an alumni of that university. The article says that the last column of the table 2.5 of the economic survey of 2018-19, volume 2 on page A59 provides the provisional actuals. And this is the document. This is the document, everybody has seen that. And since this survey was brought in July rather than February or March, it gave ample time for the ministry to record actual receipts and spending of the fiscal year ended March 31, 2019. Most of the numbers stated as the revised estimates for 2018-2019 do not tally with government's own estimate of actual revenues and expenditure as shown in the economic survey. Sir, the biggest discrepancy and shortfall is in the tax revenues, which were actually lower than the revised estimates by rupees 1,65,176 crore, or as much as 13.5% of the revised estimates of total tax revenues. There are so many conflicting figures mentioned in the article that I have referred to. So I am sure that this article must have been shown to the Honorable Finance Minister. And if you want, I would like to place a copy of that article. I am not a student of economics, sir, but many people like me may be confused. And I would request the Honorable Finance Minister to respond to this. Sir, in para 11 of the budget speech, the Honorable Finance Minister has rightly lauded the role of private sector industries, but did not mention about the decision taken by the central government in regard to disinvestment or privatization of 42 public sector enterprises, which played a very crucial role in our economy from their very inception. Sir, this abrupt announcement of death sentence on the 42 public sector undertakings will not only render lakhs of our workmen and their families in utter uncertainty, but this will affect our economy as a whole. Sir, it is necessary to mention in this context that the government has failed and neglected to disclose the names of the willful defaulters, particularly the top 100 willful defaulters, in spite of the ruling of the Apex Court twice in succession in this regard. Sir, 7 or 8 years back, the then Finance Minister published one white paper on black money. Thereafter, certain revelations came out from Panama Papers and Paradise Papers. And what action has been taken by the government in regard to those revelations, this House does not know. So, I demand on behalf of my party that the government should publish another white paper showing what happened in regard to the revelations on Panama and Paradise Papers. Sir, mention has been made in this budget about Udan scheme. I am only कुछ बिंदुओं पर मैं चर्चा करना चाहता हूँ कि मेरा दूसरा स्पीकर है, he will speak in details. Sir, about this Udan scheme, I would request the Honorable Finance Minister that the government should take early steps to ensure air connectivity under this scheme for smaller cities like Kuch Bihar, Balurghat, Malda, and other places in West Bengal that have been already included in the scheme, but nothing has progressed so far. Sir, it has been claimed in the budget that 657 kilometers of metro rail network has become operational. Good enough. But sir, the condition of the first metro rail service in the country, which is in Kolkata, is deteriorating fast day by day. Services are disrupted very often due to old and almost junk coaches. And the new coaches which were brought from the integral factory of Madras, they could not be made operational because they are also defective and of inferior quality. So I urge upon the Honorable Minister to look into this aspect, and the government should take appropriate steps. Sir, budget allocation for railway projects in West Bengal have also been slashed. It's a matter of great regret. Sir, phase 2 of FAME, which has been mentioned in the budget speech, is good, provided e-vehicles are manufactured in adequate numbers and made available in affordable prices, and sufficient number of charging stations are set up throughout the country. Sir, in this budget I have not found anything said about jute and tea industry. I remember when the present Honorable Finance Minister was the Commerce Minister, she visited the tea estates of North Bengal on a number of occasions and made public statements that government will take all steps for revival of the tea industry. But nothing has been done so far, and Tea Board, which is a central government agency, has done nothing for development of the tea industry. Sir, similarly, the jute industry is reeling under severe crisis for a long time, and the Honorable Textile Minister is present in this House. Although she has taken certain steps, no doubt, for revival of the jute industry, but yet we are not in a position to compete with Bangladesh even. Bangladesh is much ahead in terms of exports of jute goods compared to India. So I would request through you, sir, that some more steps, effective steps should be taken. The Honorable Finance Minister assured 100% FDI in insurance intermediaries. I would like to know what would be the impact of this on our public sector insurance companies. That has not been clarified by the Minister, and while she will be responding, I would expect that she will clarify on this, because I am afraid whether similarly the easing of local sourcing norms for FDI in single brand retail, whether this will pave the way for multi-brand FDI in multi-brand retail also, I do not know, because I am a bit anxious and worried what is going to happen. There are a lot of prescriptions have been made for agriculture sector, but it is a common knowledge that the minimum support prices that are being announced by the government from time to time, it may help only 5% of the farmers, not more than that. Why? Because there is no proper procurement drive either by the Food Corporation of India, or the Jute Corporation of India, or the Cotton Corporation India, or NAFED, or any other cooperative society as such. There lies the problem. Government is announcing many things for the improvement of our अन्नदाता बोल रहे कि अन्नदाता है, अन्नदाता को भूख मिटाने के लिए, उनको थोड़ा मदद देने के लिए स्कीम्स तो बहुत है, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं हो रहा है, और इम्प्लीमेंटिंग एजेंसी जो है वो कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, चोरी कर रहा है. Sir, and this is why the farmers are being exploited by the moneylenders and the middlemen. This is a hard reality. Sir, the current growth rate in farmers' income is only 2% or a little more than that, the current growth rate. And the target of doubling farmers' income cannot be achieved by 2022 as has been assured. It may take time up to 2040 if the current growth rate of the farmers at the rate of 2% continues. So not before 2040, the target will be achieved. This is our apprehension. My state, West Bengal, under the stewardship of Ms. Mamata Banerjee, has tripled the income of farmers in the past 7 years, between 2011 and 2028. Government is talking about cooperative federalism. West Bengal should be rewarded and get more fund on agriculture because we have tripled the income of the farmers under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. Sir, a massive program of railway station modernization has been envisaged in this budget. In paragraph 75 of her speech, she has said, जब विजय गोयल जी यहाँ मंत्री थे, स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर, he announced one program, खेलो इंडिया. अब तो ये बेचो इंडिया आ गया, बिकाऊ सरकार, बेचो इंडिया. अभी खेलो इंडिया से अब सरकार का मनसा अभी बेचो इंडिया हो गया. कैसे? Railway privatization in the name of PPP model. After auctioning of Habibganj railway station, 23 stations including Howrah, Kanpur Central, Prayagraj, Lokmanya Tilak Terminal, Pune, Visakhapatnam, Kamakha, Faridabad, Udaipur City, Secunderabad, Vijayawada, Ranchi, Chennai Central, Bengaluru Kent, Mumbai Central, Bandra Terminus and Indore will be auctioned to the private parties. आप जाइए इंटरनेशनल, जैसे हवाई अड्डा में जाइए, इंटरनेशनल लाउंज में, इंटरनेशनल जोन में, जहाँ से हमारा इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट जाते हैं, या नेशनल डोमेस्टिक में भी चारों ओर शराब की दुकान है. कोई भी विदेशी इंडिया में आएगा, हिंदुस्तान में आएगा, और जैसे ही पार रखेंगे दिल्ली, बम्बई, कलकत्ता, कहीं भी हो एयरपोर्ट में, तो सोचेगा ये शराबी देश है, शराबियों का देश है. चारों ओर सिर्फ शराब की दुकान नजर आते हैं, कुछ नहीं. तो ऐसे ही रेलवे स्टेशन भी होने वाला है. हमारे बच्चों के लिए बहुत अच्छा होगा ये. और रोकिए मत, आप मिनिस्टर है, रोकिए मत प्लीज. In this way, 400 stations railway stations have been targeted to be auctioned. Those are in the pipelines. 400 railway stations. वो जमाना था मिडिल ऑफ 19th सेंचुरी, जब ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी थे हमारे देश में, उस समय सारे प्राइवेट रेलवे कंपनी थे. वो हमारा घड़ी को उस समय पर पीछे ले जाना चाहते हैं. सो ये बेचो इंडिया का एक कर्म सूची है. सर, as per report of the United Nations World Food Programme published in June last month, in collaboration with the Ministry of Statistics and Program of the government, almost 1 in 3 Indian under 5 years will be stunted by 2022. Over the last decade, child stunting has been estimated to have reduced in our country about 1% per year, the slowest decline among all emerging economies. Food grain yields have risen to 33%. Food grains, this yield have risen to 33% over the last 2 decades. But the consumers' access to rice, wheat, and other cereals have not increased at the same rate or even at a moderate rate due to population growth, inequality, food wastage, and exports, the report emphasizes. Hence, it is high time that the government must come out with a time-bound comprehensive program to arrest this situation, sir. The budget does not raise much hopes to the vast armies of our unemployed youth in this country and also senior citizens. While jobs opportunities are minimal, job cuts are rampant, declining rate of bank interest have added salt to the miseries of the pensioners and large section of senior citizens. In this budget, only rupees 50,000 deduction on interest income from deposits has been provided for senior citizens, and deduction limit for medical expenditure for critical illness has been increased from rupees 60,000 to rupees 1 lakh. But this deduction limit on expenditure for critical illness should be at least rupees 5 lakhs. And I would like to appeal to the government to consider that the limit should be increased to rupees 50 lakh for critical illness. Sir, this budget shows 7% reduction. 7% reduction in the total expenditure on social security and social protection. This will further push down disposable incomes, resulting in the reduction of consumption and in turn lowering the investment, wages and employment, all of which will only deepen the economic crisis of this country. Sir, additional tax on both diesel and petrol shall cause sharp rise in the prices of essential commodities in particular, keeping in view the inevitable rise in the freight of trucks and goods trains. So it was high time for increasing our defense budget. Nothing has been said about this, particularly when the economy of a neighboring country is in shambles. It would have been a very good option for this government to increase our defense budget also. And it would have a cascading effect on that country which is aiding and abetting terrorist activities into our country. Sir, I have seen that the Honorable Finance Minister has made a departure from holding briefcase and used a red cloth folio to bring the budget document. In our college days, Mao Zedong's The Little Red Book was very popular. But it seems to me that this budget document brought in the red folio do neither reflect any revolutionary steps nor any remarkable proposals to boost our economy. Sir, like many people of our country, I have witnessed on television the Honorable Finance Minister, she was feeding halwa to Anurag Thakurji, Honorable Minister of State for Finance, and other senior functionaries of the Finance Ministry. So I hope that some halwa should also be there in this budget for the common people. But that is absent in this budget. That is absent in the budget. अभी ये बताया गया कि जो लोग बजट को विरोध कर रहा है वो लोग निराशावादी है। मैं निराशावादी नहीं हूँ। मैं जो कुछ भी बोल रहा हूँ देश के हित में बोल रहा हूँ। सरकार कंसीडर करे या ना करे ये बोलने का अधिकार मेरा बनती है, मैंने इसलिए बोला। लेकिन फिर भी मुझे अगर निराशावादी ठहराया जाता है तो मैं उनको एक पुराने गीत के चैन कलियां सुनाना चाहता हूँ आपकी इजाजत से।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
वो भी इसी से मैं खत्म करना चाहता हूँ कि मेरा दूसरा स्पीकर है, मेरा 18 मिनट खत्म हो गया। सर, ये आनंद बख्शी जी का लिखा हुआ एक गीत और लक्ष्मीकांत प्यारेलाल जी ने शरबत किया था, वो बाद में बताएंगे, हाउस में नहीं। वो 40 साल पुरानी फिल्म का नाम है आशा और लता जी ने गाई थी। उनके चैन कलियां मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ आपकी इजाजत से।
बोलिए मत सर।
दुनिया एक तमाशा है, दुनिया एक तमाशा है, आशा और निराशा है। थोड़े फूल है, कांटे हैं, अपना अपना हिस्सा है, अपना अपना किस्सा है, कोई लूट जाता है। लब तक आते आते हाथों से सागर छूट जाता है। तो मैं सरकार को ये इसलिए सुनाना चाहा कि उनको ये ध्यान में रखना चाहिए कि कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि लब तक आते आते हाथों से सागर छूट जाए।
धन्यवाद माननीय सुखेंदु शेखर राय जी।